All right, guys, one of the things that I tell people a lot is that yes, calories do matter, but they only matter in relation to your metabolism. Case in point is a few years ago, if I ate 2,200 calories, I would begin to gain weight because my metabolism was tanked. Now I'm eating roughly 2,900 calories a day. I continue to lose weight. It's not rapid weight loss, but I'm slowly losing weight, which is what I want, and I'm able to enjoy life more. If that's something you want, I put together a list of 10 foods that I eat on a regular basis that have helped me improve my metabolism, and I think they can do the same for you. So I'm going to hop right into it. The first one, not necessarily any particular order, but a great one to add would be coconut oil. Now, this is going to do a couple of things for you, one of which it's been shown to help you all on its own decrease body fat. It will also increase your metabolic rate, which it has been shown in studies to do, and I'll include links in the description. By the way, any of these things that are going to be helpful for you, such as the products I use, I'll include links in the description, okay? Grass-fed butter, you're going to see a common trend here. Any sort of animal products that I consume are going to be grass-fed, grass-finished, or wild game. That I do still do some hunting, primarily bird hunting. But anything that you eat needs to be as pure as possible. So grass-fed, grass-finished, that includes the butter. Kerrygold is my preferred brand, but there's a lot of them out there. Again, I'll include links. Each year I buy a whole beef for my family, and that provides for the whole year. Grass-fed, grass-finished. I have a local rancher in my area where I get the beef. I know where it's processed. I'm involved in the whole process. So that's a great thing to include. I really am a big fan of consuming bone broth along with gelatin. And the primary reason for that, well, a couple of them, I guess, but if you're consuming muscle meats like beef and pheasant or what have you, they do contain some inflammatory amino acids, so it's really good to balance those out with protein sources that don't contain the inflammatory amino acids. So bone broth and gelatin are great sources. They also contain high amounts of glycine. I've done a video on glycine before. It's a great thing to include in your diet, great thing for metabolism. Speaking of metabolism, one of the best things I've done for my thyroid, in addition to a lot of these foods, but is reintroducing more carbohydrates, especially in the form of ripe fruits and real fruit juices. These are going to help thyroid hormone production. They're going to help your liver. They're going to help a lot of things, contrary to a lot of the scaremongering out there from the extreme diet crowds. Keto and carnivore, I've done many videos on this. Feel free to check some of those out. But this has been huge for me. And it's the thing I would include as a carbohydrate source first, because it's going to be, generally speaking, if you're coming from an extreme diet environment like I was, these sorts of ripe fruits, that kind of thing, is going to be the easiest for you to tolerate. I can consume potatoes and rice, and I do to an extent, but most people are going to have trouble with those right off the bat. Okay, again, grass-fed, grass-finished beef liver. If there's something as close to Mother Nature's multivitamin, I think it's organ meat. Beef liver is something I think everybody should be eating. Again, I get mine from the cow that we purchase each year. I don't have it every day. I almost think of it like, hey, if I was in the wild and we brought down an animal, you would have organ meat, but it would only last so long. You'd have much more muscle meat to consume. So I try to think in those sorts of ratios, but I do eat small amounts periodically throughout the week. Maybe some weeks only a couple ounces, some weeks maybe 4 to 8 ounces. It just kind of varies, and I go off how I feel as well. Real sourdough, and what I mean by real sourdough is I get my flour from outside the United States, from Europe, because they've basically outlawed Roundup, or they've outlawed glyphosates, which are terrible for you. If you can find a true glyphosate-free flour, that's great. But then I mix up my starter, then I mix up my dough, I let it ferment in the fridge for 48 hours. So it's a true, completely fermented sourdough. I don't consume a lot of grain products, but this is kind of one of those things where it's good quality, so I do that. Raw cow's milk, okay? I have trouble in my area getting raw milk. I do the best I can. If I can't get it, I have found something that's close. It's non-homogenized and it's lightly pasteurized. It's not perfect, but it's better than not being able to consume it. And there's a lot of people that will downplay milk. And I get that there's a lot of not good information out there, but because of the calcium it gives you, and because of some of these other nutrients that it contains, it's actually really beneficial as long as you can tolerate it. And generally speaking, if you can't tolerate milk, it's not necessarily the milk, it's probably a GI issue that you have going on. But for me, it's not an issue, so I include it. Again, I try to go for raw. If I can't, do the best you can. Seafood is a big one. Oysters, another really nutrient-packed food, and shellfish, shrimp, you know, those sorts of things are great. People will ask me about salmon. I 100% do not want to see people eat any salmon that's farm raised. It's a terrible, low quality source of protein and fat. However, if you can get wild salmon, buy it, by all means, you know, do something like that. The one thing I want to stress, if you want to see your metabolism improve, you have to give your body nutrients. You can't undereat and you can't eat low nutrient foods. Okay, the foods that I've listed here for the most part are very nutrient packed and very beneficial for your metabolism. They have been for me. Like I said, I'm eating more than ever. My weight is going down. And there's other things that I'm doing to help that process along, but this list I think would be a great start for you if you're looking to improve your metabolism. So let me know in the comments if you have any questions. As the channel grows, I can't answer all the comments. I do read them all. And if you have other topics you need me to cover, let me know in the comments. Also, make sure to go grab your free checklist, you guys, at my website. I think you'll get a lot of benefit from that. So hope this was helpful, you guys. I will see you in the next one. Thank you.